Hi, and welcome to the Stay Rich podcast. On this podcast, we're going to have successful entrepreneurs coming on to teach us about how they live a rich lifestyle and give tips and motivational strategies to navigate the world. And in addition to that, we're also going to be interviewing high-level, extremely killer, competent divorce attorneys who are coming onto the show to tell us their war stories, to tell us all of the things that you as a man should not be doing if you are going through a divorce today. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Stay Rich podcast, episode number 5. I'm so excited to have a near and dear mentor of mine from, I think, 20 years now it's been, Peter. Mr. Peter Duke, who is the founder, along with his wife, Patty, of Point6 Merino wool products. He's known as the Godfather of Wool, I hear. And Peter, welcome to the show. It's been a while. Thank you so much for coming on today.
It has been a while. Goodness, 20 years. Time flies.
Time does fly.
It does fly, yes.
It's amazing. I remember meeting Peter at a golf course where I was working as a golf pro many, many, many years ago. And we talked, several times over the course of many years, and you were going through career transition. So what is it that you're doing now exactly?
Well, I've done a lot of things. But initially, I started out my career as a ski instructor. Actually, I wanted to play baseball, but my family wouldn't let me play professional ball. So I went skiing. And I got involved in ski instruction. I enjoyed it. Eventually directed a few different ski schools in the country, made a national team. And then at the age of 40 or so, I said, okay, it's time to stop fooling around and make a living for the family. And so decided to start a business. No, not a clue of what to do, but I did it. I just said, if they can do it, I can do it. And so we started a business. We called it Duke Sports, and we eventually got to Duke Ventures. And through that process, we started a company called SmartWool, which basically revolutionized the way people who are very active go out and dress, and the fibers and materials that they use to wear to stay comfortable. And so we introduced merino wool to the world. We started with socks and eventually apparel. And we eventually sold that company. And then we started a new company called Point6 with a slightly different twist to it, where we sell direct to the consumer and allow the consumer now to start saving money rather than, at wholesale rather than paying retail for it. So that sums us up of what we've been doing.
And it's been going well since then, I understand.
Yes, it's a tough transition because when we started, direct to consumer was really first starting. And at my age, I don't know much about direct-to-consumer and all the intricacies of the internet, but I had this idea. And so we started direct-to-consumer in its infancy and kind of went through that process and learning. And here we are today, and it's now we're starting to get it turned around. We're learning that we need to get ourselves exposed out there through public relations. So we're anticipating more and more people to learn about what we have, who we are, the quality we offer, and the price. That's a killer price for everyone to save money, especially nowadays.
Yeah, with inflation being what it is, with sort of that environment, economically being what it is, I've always had this idea where I would rather buy fewer items that are higher quality than have a bunch of stuff that I end up, not using or throwing out because it's garbage. You know what I mean? And that's basically what Point 6 is. It's higher quality items, so it's something that you can buy and you actually use for a longer period of time and enjoy it.
Yes, actually, wool does not retain odor.
I was going to ask you.
Yeah, so you can wear your socks for 2 weeks, 3 weeks straight every day, and I guarantee you, your shoes will be odorless, and your feet will be odorless. And the same thing for the clothing, because it's all about moisture management, and merino wool does it the best.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I remember having this conversation with you 20 years ago, and you were talking to me and saying wool is the best thing for athletic apparel.
Yes.
And I remember telling you that you were crazy. And I've gone through so many different items of apparel, whether it be Lululemon, whether it be whatever, Nike, et cetera, et cetera. And I consistently have issues with this clothing because it does get that odor. It picks it up over time.
Well, those companies, they're more fashion statements, and they use different materials, and you look good in this stuff. But if you're not wearing wool, survival is not a word that you'll be able to use. It's interesting. A Arctic explorer now works with us.
No kidding.
Yeah, and he came to us because he knows the value of wool, and so between himself and ourselves, we developed this product called VBL, Vapor Barrier Liner.
Okay.
And so he goes into the Arctic in the wintertime where it's a little chilly.
Very cold.
Yeah. And he wears this combination, and he says his feet are just toasty, toasty warm all the time.
No kidding.
No kidding. And that covered with his base layer wool and everything, he's in good shape.
And is that part of the testing that you're doing for Point 6 is, doing these sorts of extreme type testing to make sure that it's functional in extreme cold, et cetera?
We do testing, yes. It is all part of our culture to make sure that we're bringing the best product out there. And so what we do as an example for longevity or durability in our socks, we go down the road of using compact spun yarns.
Okay.
And by doing that, it allows us to maintain a cross stretch in a sock. And so what is a cross stretch? But when you put on a sock and you put your hand in the hole of the top of the sock and you stretch it, that's called cross stretch.
Okay.
And there are some companies that offer durability lifetime guarantees, but the way they achieve it is they tighten the stitch down. And by tightening the stitch down, it's not as loose, but it also doesn't have that cross stretch. Okay. So it chokes your foot.
Right.
And so the the compact spun yarns is a method that within the yarn, it makes it more durable. And so when we make our socks, we make it with a nice cross stretch. It's comfortable and it's durable.
That's
so
amazing.
So those are the things that we do.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, I remember 20 years ago, having a similar conversation like this. And at the time you had just sold SmartWool.
Yeah.
I think it was like a year after, 2 years after, or something like that. And you hadn't yet started Point 6, and we were just talking quickly. You were heading out golfing or something like that. And, you're kind of humming and hawing saying, should I start something new? Should I, just relax? What am I going to do? And I remember you thinking and telling me, it's like, you would be bored if you were just sitting around doing nothing all the time and you wanted to do something and continue to do something that you were really passionate about.
Yeah. Well, I'm not one to just hang around. I mean, that's boring, just doing nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I enjoy, along with my wife, Patty, we enjoy doing things together. And And so we decided to embark on this adventure as well. And so we both put our energies into it and try to be successful at it together.
Yeah. And you had started the previous company together, like you were together at that point as well.
Yes.
How long have you been married?
Oh, goodness. Please don't get this wrong. 51 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I tell people this all the time, and it's so important, and I'd love to hear your thoughts about this, but it's finding somebody who's authentically with you, right? And
Yes.
you can be yourself, she can be herself, and it's sort of embarking on this adventure of a lifetime. It's literally the adventure of a lifetime, and you do things together, and by doing it together, you're both better off for it.
I would like to think so. Yeah. It's a common goal. You know, we both have our different opinions on how to do things, but both have good, strong opinions of how to go about it. And eventually, we both see the values in each other's opinion and come to an agreement of a direction that we need to travel down. So we've always been like that.
That's amazing. I mean, it's actually in 2025, that's a really inspirational message to take for people watching the show is, I mean, you're highlighting the importance of communication. You're highlighting the point that you do have different opinions, that you do have different ways of doing things, but you see value in each other's perspective and find a way to come together and work in harmony, right? And towards that common goal.
Yes.
And it's so important. It's not just your way or the highway. It's not her way or the highway. It's both of your way, and that is the highway.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, she'll go east, I'll go west. She'll do a U-turn, I'll do a U-turn.
That's the fun of navigating these things. And for people watching, I mean, this is how I have a divorce element to my book. I work in the divorce space, and often it's these communication breakdowns, it's these differences of opinion where people go apart and they never turn around and come back to one another. You know, but you've had a successful marriage for 5 decades. It's half a century, and you've been through starting a business when you're in your 40s.
Oh, well, we started, yes, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. It was in our 40s.
Yeah, and you were working as a ski instructor previously.
Yes.
Was Patty working as a ski instructor as well?
She eventually taught skiing, yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So it was both of you. You were doing skiing. Then it's like, this apparel sucks. We need to start our own thing and go and do something that's better to make it more comfortable for us and other people skiing.
Yeah.
It's Colorado, right? Where you're
Yes,
from?
we're in Steamboat Springs.
Amazing. And just going through that adventure together and creating a huge brand and then selling it and then saying, there's more to this. I want to keep going.
Yeah.
And that's such a inspirational story for people. It's very motivational.
Yes, we do. We keep going forward. That's for sure. Just as an example, the little cottage that we just built. You know, that along with work. You know, the summer just passed by so quickly.
Yeah. Tell me about the cottage. How did you? What happened? What did you do?
Oh boy, we sold a piece of property that was been in Patty's family since 1921.
Wow.
And we also had a little place where it was considered a picnic location. And we said, you know, to stay up here in Muskoka and enjoy the summers on the lake, we had this idea. And we were able to turn the idea into reality. And we built a little off-grid cabin that's 16 by 18 feet, and you know, we live off-grid, and that is so cool.
Yeah.
To do. I mean, It's nothing is in your way. You can live off grid. You can do all these things and not be dependent on outside resources.
Yeah, so you're not dependent on, the power grid, for example.
Exactly.
Or,
Yeah.
I mean, it's everything here is septic, but, you're pumping water and you're getting it from a well or from a lake or something like that and treating it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much design work went into that?
Quite a bit, getting the logs and all that. But Patty, what she did also earlier, she was an interior designer.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. And so she does that.
Yeah. So she took care of the design. You're the executioner. You're the one putting it all together.
Yeah, exactly.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy to think that you can build a 16 by 18 foot log cabin. It's on an island, I think, right?
Yes,
so
a very small island, yes.
Yeah, so it's on an island, and here you two are building a company, and doing it remotely while you're building a log cabin and selling these products online. And, there's so many different facets to what you're doing right now.
Yeah, well, we still take advantage of technology.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a satellite dish.
Yeah.
So that coupled with our power that we are able to supply, I'm in touch with the world and my employees and what we have, and it's moving forward. We've been able to get a group of people who are motivated, working for us, and who can handle the daily operation of the business. And it's certainly at our age, it gives us the opportunity to enjoy different things in life, but yet stay active. I just feel that once you stop using the brain cells, things go bad.
Yeah. I had my dad, he passed away 8 years ago, but he was a doctor, and his whole thing was always basically you would have to drag him out of his office on a gurney. That's how he was going to go. He was never, ever, ever going to retire because he loved what he did. He was passionate about it and just wanted to keep pushing, right? And maybe he died young, but maybe as time would have gone on, he would have dialed it back a little bit and taken a bit of a different role. But he never intended to retire, ever. And it sounds, kind of similar to what you're saying, which is you need your brain to keep moving, right?
Yeah.
You need something to keep going.
But what is retirement? I really don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just if you're not working for someone, you're working for yourself, and if you're not working for yourself to bring in money, you're doing something to improve your life.
Mm-hmm.
So there's never retirement. There's always something new to do.
Always. So what's happening with Point6 now? What's the plan going forward with the company?
Well, the plan is that we are attempting to get more and more people to recognize that my wife and I were the founders of SmartWool, so we're not a Me Too company, and that we know what we're doing, and that we're bringing the similar quality, perhaps better quality, at wholesale pricing. That's basically it. No need to pay retail anymore, and like I said earlier, in today's economy, I mean that's a huge savings for people.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's better for less, is what you're saying.
Better for less.
Today's world, it's changed so much because it's not like you have to go to the store. You don't have to go to, a sporting apparel store to get this stuff. You can just order it online. It shows up,
Yes.
in a couple days, basically. Yeah. And that's pretty much what you're doing, I guess.
Yes, that is true. So we work, and the method is if people purchase, and they purchase a certain amount, it'll be free shipping on top of it. And the shipping, we get the product to them rather quickly so they can use it. So it's kind of like a little Amazon.
It's like Amazon for nice clothes.
Yeah, there you go.
Anything you buy from Amazon directly can be a little bit rocky in my
Yeah,
experience.
it's true.
We always end up joking because we'll go and buy something like it'll be a Christmas decoration or something like that. And it's like, oh, it's a Christmas tree, and it ships in by Amazon and you think it's going to be, 6 feet tall and, X meters wide. And instead it's, 6 inches tall. And it's like, I thought I got a deal, but instead I got this little decorative thing.
Yeah.
Very different. So I'm glad that the socks will come in the right size. The clothing will come in the right size. But importantly, it's that kind of back to earth sort of mentality where we need to use quality product rather than just injecting synthetics and doing this kind of stuff because it can have really detrimental impacts to your health and smell like crap after using it a few times.
This is true. The quality, it's all relative to what people are looking for, but if you're going out camping or hiking or biking or riding, you don't have time to go inside and change. You have to have the right equipment when you're participating out there. And more people are now wearing merino wool socks to work.
Yeah.
So it's just a comfort issue as well. It is, there's years ago, I had a discussion with my marketing director, performance or comfort. And she was very comfort oriented. I was very performance oriented.
Mm-hmm.
And we went back and forth. Performance is this and that. And she said, well, comfort is this and that. And we came to the conclusion, performance and comfort are one and the same. Think about that.
Right.
Performance, if it's performing, you're comfortable. If you're comfortable,
It's
performing. So, yeah, interesting.
Yeah, there's not really a trade-off.
No.
But it's implied when you set it up as performance or comfort.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and it's just both.
Yeah.
They're the same thing. Oh, that's interesting. Do you find that that's similar for other areas of your life too, where you thought of something that you thought of as a trade-off, but it's actually the same?
Whew. I'll say yes, but I can't. It doesn't come to my top of mind right now.
It's I find that where it's like efficiency or effectiveness, quality or quantity. And then I realized that I want to do the quantity of work that I want to do, but the quality part is the real driver. So if I do a great job, if I'm sort of exceeding my own expectations, which are already fairly high, then the quantity will hit a level that I want it to be at. And I don't want to push past that necessarily. I'd rather just focus on providing quality services, quality advice, products, whatever the case may be.
That's interesting because what you're doing and your thought process is to build what you could handle versus today's corporations is build more, and the quicker, the more you build, perhaps you lose a little of the quality aspect of things.
Mm-hmm.
And so I prefer that you build the quality, and build what you need.
Mm-hmm.
And I have my RV is out there.
I saw that pull in.
And Patty and I have always, from 1977, that's a long time ago, when we moved to Lake Tahoe for me to run the ski school at Heavenly Valley, we bought a van, a Ford van, and we fixed it up. Our son was a year old at the time, and I managed to get 5 months off paid from my employer. Long story there. And we actually lived in that van for 5 months out of the year.
No kidding.
Just drove around the country, did it for 7 years. Crazy. But we were young enough to, enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
And we would get ripe together, and we would walk by some people, and they go, oh. We knew it was time to go find a shower at some KOA. And then we graduated into the Sprinter vans and bigger vans. And not too long ago, we were in our Sprinter van, and we were both bending down and trying to pick up something. And, we're of age right now where it's a little difficult. She said to me, I want an RV. So I know nothing about RVs, not a thing. So I'm looking in the classified, and I finally see someone advertising, not your big corporation advertising, but an individual promoting, wanting to sell his RV. And I called him up, and he's out of Oklahoma, and his name is Mike Mantle. So I said, this begs the question. And sure enough, he is a relative of Mickey Mantle.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Huh.
So we chatted, and I told him my aspirations when I was younger. So it kind of was like homecoming for me. And so I finally asked him, I said, well, why are you selling your RV if you think it's so good? He says, well, I want a smaller RV. Okay. Well, what are you going to buy? He says, I'm going to buy a leisure travel. I say, why a leisure travel? Because it's the best. So I said, okay. So I started looking for leisure travel. I find a used leisure travel, pick it up. And ever since we've had it, people keep coming up to us and asking us, I got to look into it. This is the best, and this is the best. So where am I going with this story? So what I learned about the company that makes leisure travel, they only build 400 a year. Only 400, not 399, 400.
Really?
Yes. And every single one, because it requires a certain amount of time, every single one receives that amount of time, and they put it together, and all the nuts and the bolts tighten and put together nicely. And that's what I was talking about before, of, building the quality, and you have a nice, secure business. And, if you want to increase your business, then you build another plant.
Yeah.
And you do it that way rather than pushing your present manufacturing to build 600 when it's only ready to do 400.
Yeah. And seeing the quality sacrifice and seeing your brand decline and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, that's sort of congruent with what you're doing with Point6.
Yes, exactly.
Is focusing on that quality.
All the time.
What's the focal point? So for people watching, I mean, is the marketing geared towards outdoors, like sort of outdoor activities?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all like outdoor activities. So, winter sports, there's skiing, there's snowmobiling, there's hunting, there's fishing, hiking, biking, anything that gets you outside the house and away from, the employer, you're outdoors.
Yeah, you're in the elements, so to speak.
Only thing it's not good for is swimming.
Yeah, well, I can see why. Not that you would need socks for swimming, I hope.
Yeah.
Or you were saying that there's comfort layers and things like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you layer up or layer down. Yeah. So.
Did you drive the RV from Colorado to Muskoka? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. For us, that's a jiggy jog.
Really?
Yeah, we'll drive.
How many hours is that?
Oh, whew. It's about, it'll take me 2.5, it used to take me 2 days and a few hours to do it because I would drive for many, many hours. Now it's like 3 days I'll do it in just to slow it down. But long distance driving is enjoyable. We drove from Colorado to Alaska, and that's a long haul.
Yes.
That's an 8-day drive, and that's putting in hours every day. It's a long haul.
It's got to be a beautiful drive.
It was absolutely magnificent.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get up in the Yukon territory. I mean, you're out there.
Yeah. You're where the trees stop existing. I think, I mean, no, I guess there are some trees, but they're pretty short up there, aren't they?
In Yukon, no, they're pretty good sized trees
Yeah.
in the Yukon. I think it's as you get into Alaska and you get further north, the trees are a little bit less.
Yeah, they're stubby. They don't
Yeah.
have enough sun or something like that.
This is true.
I want to take my kids up there just to see sort of like the environment and how it's so different, even from the city to here. I mean, it's just remarkably different because it's two climate zones difference between
Yeah.
home in the Toronto area and Muskoka. But going somewhere like that and showing them the mountains and showing them the stuff, I'm so excited to do that. I was actually thinking of coming to Colorado at some point with them and get them skiing and doing this stuff now. Because they're 7 and 8, they're younger, so they're kind of getting into that zone.
Well, you get the same experience of the mountains. Probably the Rocky Mountains are just spectacular mountains to look at.
Yeah.
But as you get up into the Yukon and Alaska, there are mountains up there. But I do believe in your backyard in Canada, it's spectacular parks that you have, and probably the Yukon just really blew me away.
Really?
Really blew me away. It just so remote,
Yeah.
so out there, that if you want to really just kind of rub elbows with the bark on a tree, that's that's where you want to be. Yeah,
No kidding.
it really is. Yeah, and you go into a park, and they have campsites and campsites and campsites and campsites that are just all for yourselves, and they provide firewood for you.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, what else do you want?
Yeah. You've got wood, you've got the park.
Just all you
and
got to
that's
do is
it.
bring your marshmallows.
Yeah. We were just doing that last night, so
Yeah.
it sounds like it'd be right up our alley.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And you know what I love about this is you see online, you see on Instagram and Twitter and all these different things, you know, there's this idea of what, you know, CEOs of companies do, what owners of companies do, what, you know, people who are, you know, successful and wealthy, and it's getting on jets, it's being on these big private yachts, it's, you know, doing all this kind of fancy stuff, right? And here I've got you sitting here, I've got Patty sitting across over here at the dining room table, and we're talking about, you know, you and both of you together are enormously successful, very well known, very well regarded. And it's not about private jets. It's not about, you know, a flashy, lavish lifestyle, but it's rich in quality. It's doing things that you love to do. It's going places that you really want to, and experiencing life in the way that you choose rather than being forced into something. And I think that that's beautiful.
Yes, I understand what you're saying, and yes, so if from that perspective, I am rich, but I'm not rich to go buy a private jet or a yacht. And quite frankly, as one dreams about having all kinds of oodles of money, I don't think I would buy a yacht or a jet. I'd rather get in my van and go.
Yeah.
Quite frankly.
Yeah.
So, you know, there are people built that way where they have gobbles of money, but they're very simple people.
Mm-hmm.
And I really have, you know, admiration for people like that. You know, it's just people like a Bill Gates. You know, he seems to be just a downright, you know, earthy guy. I don't hear about his yachts or his jets. I'm sure he's got something.
Mm-hmm.
But how he's so philanthropic is really mind-blowing. And, you know.
It's fulfilling a different purpose. I mean, once
Yeah.
you hit a certain amount in the bank, you know, whether it's, you know, 5 million and 50 million and 500 million, it kind of stops mattering at a certain point.
I think it does, yeah. I think that you definitely always want to have security for your family and maybe think about so many generations down. So, money somewhat gives you that security. But there comes a point of where, the planet may not last that long anyhow. So, it's just different today. I just think that people need to think more about the people who are having difficult times nowadays and how we as society can help those people.
There's so many opportunities there.
Yeah.
There really is. And that's part of why I do this podcast, is to get the message out to younger guys, right? And people who are struggling and trying to find wisdom and knowledge, kind of like a lot of the lessons you shared with me 20 years ago when I was working as just, a bag pro shop kind of kid. And having you on the show is touching for me, to reconnect this way.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's very much appreciated. And I mean, just getting this sort of positive message out that you can start a business in your 40s, work with your wife, because that is taboo today in 2025, which is so stupid, in my opinion. I work, the same. And having that opportunity to actually succeed and grow together. I mean, these are all so motivational now.
Yeah,
it's like counterculture. It's bizarre.
I didn't realize that in today's world that young married people prefer not to be with each other in work. And I'm going, wow, that's odd.
Isn't it?
It's different. You make vows to each other to be with each other, and you trust each other. You have each other's back. You're not. You can have the best friend in the world, but there'll be nothing better friend to you than your spouse. They are your friends. They watch your back all the time.
That is critical.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. And I think, what you've done is that you've designed a life that's sort of focused on one another, right? So, there's different dynamics of how that works in relationships and things like that. But, what it boils down to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, by the way, please, is, you're sort of pushing forward and, you're thinking of how can I do things better? How can I, be there for Patty and my children and my family while doing the business and building this beautiful place that you've just built. And I'm sure that she's doing the same thing, right? I mean, she's doing the same kind of element of pushing forward, being there for you, helping to support you, you're supporting her, that sort of dynamic, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
You have commonality.
Yeah.
So.
And do you spend and see your children much? I mean, I know that you're really busy, and they're a bit older.
Oh, yes. Yeah. So our kids happen to live in Steamboat as well.
Beautiful.
And their children are there, so we're happy there. And then the kids will, when we are up here in Muskoka, the kids will come and stay with us. So our younger boy just stayed with us in that little small 16 by 18 cabin with his wife and child.
No kidding.
And it was pretty good. We all got along, didn't get too bent out of shape, and managed to stay out of each other's way. So it was cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Do they work with you at all with the business? I mean, do they have ideas that come into play?
No. They watch us. They tell us what they think about what we're doing, which is right or wrong. But they have their own careers. My older boy is a professional photographer.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and the younger boy runs a ski tuning business in Steamboat and rents equipment. And
no kidding.
Yeah.
So you sort of followed in the footsteps in a way with the skiing.
Something that that they want to do. And just it's funny. When I turned roughly 40 and we started our own business, a thought went into my mind. I said, that's it. I'm not working for corporations anymore. They've used me up.
Yeah.
Now it's my turn. And so that's what I did.
I think once you once you embark in entrepreneurialism, it's over. Like there's really no going back.
Yes.
Truly. I mean, even just, I'd like to think about it as, you're either riding on the boat or you're driving the boat. And once you're driving the boat, once you're the captain, once you're sort of making directions of where things are going, that's it. You can't just like sit and watch somebody else do it, really.
Yeah, because your decision is your success or your failure.
Yes.
And then you have to, if it's gone in the wrong direction, you got to right side it.
Yes.
And it's just a constant, constant ongoing development.
Yes.
And it keeps you energized. At least I think so.
Now, in my experience, and I'm curious to hear if this happened to you back when you started. In my experience, when I've started my own business, I have a few businesses. Generally speaking, if I tell anyone about it, other than my wife, if I tell anyone about it, the response that I get is, "You're crazy." Right? You're crazy. There's no way this is going to work. It can't, it's like writing a book. Everyone tells you that you're crazy. Then when it's a success, everyone thinks that you're lucky. Did you not see those hours that I was working? Do you not see what was going on?
Well,
No. It's like, this is like the crazy, schizophrenic type person. And then suddenly it works out and they're like, oh, well, it must have been sheer luck. Right?
Yeah.
Did that kind of thing happen when you went into the apparel business?
Yeah, I told them I was crazy, and I'm going to get lucky.
I'm going to make my own luck.
Yeah. People have always said, it's better to be lucky than good. Okay, there's truth to that.
Mm-hmm.
You make your own luck.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, you're right. Anything that, if you go out on your own, anyone who goes out on their own, your friend is going to tell you, you're crazy.
Yeah.
And turns out they're wrong.
Yeah.
Turns out they're wrong.
But it takes some guts to go through that.
It takes a lot of guts.
Yeah. And I mean, it must have been, when did you start SmartWool?
94.
94.
Yeah.
You started in 94 and then you sold it basically 10 years later.
Actually, 9 years later.
9 years later.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's a really quick turnaround.
It was very quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was. We lit a rocket ship.
And Point6 is pointing that way too.
Yes. It's not quite straight up, but it's going in a vertical fashion.
Yeah.
Because right now, so many people are. There's. Since we started SmartWool, many more companies have developed from that.
Mm-hmm.
And so between all the companies, they share in all that business. But I think that now with our direction and how we're going to communicate to the consumer, I think that we're going to start to become more of a vertical, rocket ship. Yeah.
So what do you mean by how we're going to communicate to the...
Well, through public relations, through magazines, getting written up, things of that nature.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I just started doing that back in June, so a couple of months, and we saw our first article hit just the other day.
No kidding.
Yeah, and I can't remember, Trail something or other, and I read the article and I go, oh God, this is good.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
You never know when you're doing these things, and then you find out when you see it or when you read it, and you go, "Oh, this actually is going to play well."
Yeah, I think that people, authors or writers for these different magazines, they're always, interested in finding some something good to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And when this particular person picked up on who we are, what it was all about, what we're doing, the guy he lost it. He loved it.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, he's been waiting for something like this for a long time. And so he now has authenticity, I guess, to merino wool. And that's, who we are. We're authentic.
Yeah.
We know all, we've done it all. And so that's what I believe.
So it's just pushing into that marketing,
Yes.
sort of going back to, hey, we're the authentic people that started this. So you were saying that you had this article. It was in
Trailspace.
Trailspace.
Magazine.com, yeah.
Okay, so we can find out more about everything there.
Yeah, it was quite interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, did they sit down with you for an interview? I mean, how did that article?
No, they just my person who works with us in PR just sent them an article of who we are, what we're doing, why we're doing it, and he has relationships with these different people, and so he sent them an update of who we are and what's going on. The guy became excited because I guess he watched SmartWool start back then.
Yeah.
Okay, and so he was excited to see this. There was a period of time after we sold SmartWool that SmartWool had a brilliant idea of doing something what they called wool on wool, or the wow factor.
Okay.
And what they were doing is they were reinforcing the heel area with wool on wool.
Got it.
And they were getting returns by the box loads. I mean, not a box, not 2 boxes, 10, 12 boxes a day.
Oh, no.
Yes. And how I knew this is because the guy at the postal system, knew that we were SmartWool, and he'd see us and he'd tell us what was going on. And so I think that fact that we're back at it now and giving quality and durability to the product again is exciting.
It is. I mean, do you find that it's harder today to sort of compete in the? It's kind of like an attention marketplace now. So do you find that that's trickier, where there's more competitors out there, sort of competing for the same eyeballs, or?
Yes. Yes, there are a lot of Me Too companies out there competing for the same eyeballs.
Yeah.
Trying to get a little of the market share. These are people who know of some company that manufactures socks, says, go ahead, make some merino wool socks for me, and then sells them.
That's it.
Yeah, or goes to some apparel company in Asia somewhere and gets them to make it. They just don't understand the intricacies of how wool responds and how difficult it is to work with wool, because it is a live fiber. It's keratin. It's just like the hair on our bodies. So it's you've got to learn and know how to work with it. It takes a lot of years to do that.
Yeah, and I mean, expertise designing it. I mean, just coming up with all these things, you really need that quality push.
Yes.
And like you're saying, like these Me Too companies, they just will get a factory in China to make it and ship it. But we were talking before we started, and you were saying that all the socks that you make are made in America.
Yes.
And I mean, it's sourced from like New Zealand or something like that.
Well, we source our wool directly from New Zealand farmers.
Cool.
And so, not too long in the future, maybe a couple of years, I'm told that all products are going to have a QR code.
Oh.
Okay, think of this. I mean, this is a movement that's been going on for some time. But consumers want to know where the product is made, where the materials are coming from, whether or not there is child labor involved, things of that nature. And so with today's technology, products will need to have a QR code so you can scan it and get all the information you want right at your fingertips.
Okay.
And I think that's going to be a big component, and we're preparing for that today.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That almost feels like a marketing opportunity.
Well, you're going to need to do that because the consumer is going to demand it. So
Yeah.
you either comply or you don't comply, and
Hmm.
and you either suffer the consequences or not.
I mean, that would be so cool. I mean, I'm just envisioning, I order your socks in the mail, right? I order something in the mail. I get it in. I take my phone out. I scan the QR code. I go, okay, let's see what this is all about. And it pulls up, this probably is impossible, but a live feed in New Zealand of somebody, with a sheep or whatever, pulling the wool out, and then it shows, the factory where the socks are getting made, and sort of all these intricacies going into it, and just that sort of quality initiative that's driven behind it that feels tangible. Whereas, you know, pull it up for a different product and it's, child labor and, all this other stuff going on, and some guy in a factory making up synthetic fibers and trying to put it all together. There's, you could show the looms, you could show how all this stuff is being made, and it would look outstanding to people who really care about that sort of thing.
Yes, yeah, most definitely. I think that I just think it's the future. I just think that there's movement now, and there are companies that are starting to prepare for that, to work with companies to be able to develop that. It's possible that if we want to sell to Europe, they want to know where it's made.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people are demanding that today. So,
I mean, I appreciate that
yeah,
in the truest sense of the word. I mean, it's the knowledge that you're getting something that's been thought of, that's been designed, that's been not done by someone who's just copycatting, right?
Yeah.
And just picking up the phone or sending an email to somebody in China, and then bang, a bunch of socks come in, or bang, a bunch of apparel comes in. The fact that somebody is sitting down and thinking this through, designing it, and is knowledgeable about the intricacies, understands how the business works, and wants to ensure that they're sourcing it well, right from the source all the way to when it gets to me, is beautiful. I mean, that's so different than what we get today with something like Amazon.
Well, yeah. I mean, but I just think it's going to be the future of all products are going to have a QR code. That's what I believe. And as time goes on, if you don't have a QR code, you're not going to be qualified to sell. I just think.
Mm-hmm.
Just because the consumer demands it,
Mm-hmm.
Imagine now you go out and buy a car and you've got a QR code. You could see where all the parts are made.
Hey, that'd be cool.
Yeah, it would be.
I'd be interested in that.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be neat just to see just the details, because there's so many different tiers to
Yeah.
manufacturing that I don't think people even understand is there. They think that Ford makes cars, and it's like Ford puts pieces of cars together.
Yes.
So they assemble it, but those parts aren't made by Ford.
No.
It's very different than what people expect.
Well, it's changed so much over the years. It's you're now getting into the economy, but that's what the economy was based on, and being able to specialize and send out the parts. It allows for the car manufacturers to make the car less expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we are now going through a disruptive time.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully for the best.
Well,
I say I hope. I hope.
Hope, yeah.
But I mean, I know with the political environment in the U.S. and same in
Yeah.
Canada, I mean, it's very polarizing. People are very this or that, and there's trade wars happening. There's economic disruption happening. There's all sorts of things sort of in the mix today that maybe it was there before, but we just didn't notice it. But it feels like it's something different now.
It is different now. I mean, just all the changing, the alliances that are changing between countries.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're living in a very scary time.
I hope not.
I hope not too.
I hope not. Do you have a network of sort of other entrepreneurs that you talk to regularly, or
You mean in exchange ideas?
yeah, or just personally? I mean, do you spend time with a lot of other entrepreneurs or like other successful people? How do you sort of commingle with the world?
Not really.
No.
No. You talk with different people, who come from different walks of life.
Hmm.
In a way, even if you're working for a corporation, you're an entrepreneur in a sense that you're giving of yourself to that corporation. Excuse me, and offering your talents for them to be successful.
You just talk to who you want to talk to.
Yeah, I just people in general. There's a club called President's Club. Are you familiar with that?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's designed for people to get together and chit-chat. But there isn't any place for entrepreneurs to talk to each other
Mm-hmm.
or what challenges that they have. It's not there. So I don't, maybe that's something you can organize.
I have been.
Have you really?
I have been. Yeah. I started last year, along with the book and a few other things. I started something called the Rich Forum, and this isn't an advertorial, by the way, but it's a group of entrepreneurs, people with net worths of over $1 million who are in business and entrepreneurial, and it's a place for them to get together, share ideas, network, and grow. The idea being, so many people go through life on almost like autopilot. And I notice it in the divorce space, especially where, dentists, for example. So a dentist will think, I'm going to become a dentist. I'm going to get married. I'm going to have kids. I'm going to have a nice house. I'm going to have a BMW, and then they wake up and they're 45 or they're 40 years old and they look around and they go, what happened? This isn't what I want to do. This isn't how I want to live. I'm not doing things right. And rather than get divorced, right, I'm trying to give people a space to get together and go, okay, so let's put you back in the driver's seat again. Let's get you thinking for yourself again. Let's get you in an environment. This is online generally, but we have conferences where you're around other successful people and you can share ideas, where you can actually give each other wisdom and receive it when you start asking good questions, right? And I was wondering if that sort of exists in sort of the organic world and how you're working. And it doesn't sound like it.
No, I'm not aware of that. I mean, you might be one of the first to try to put something like that together. I think it's, had I known of something of this opportunity when I first started SmartWool,
Mm-hmm.
I probably would have wanted to learn because I didn't know much.
Yeah, you start and you make a lot of mistakes at the beginning.
A lot of mistakes, A friend of mine said to me, he says, well, what margins are you going to be making? I says, well, what the hell is a margin? So, I mean, that's how raw I was.
Mm-hmm.
But something like what you're suggesting, an exchange is helpful, definitely helpful.
Yeah. I mean,
It's good.
when you were back in the day just starting and these mistakes, I'm sure that there was a bunch. I mean, I had mistakes when I started my own business. Was there a point that you were like, I'm just going to give up? Or were that entered your mind even? Or did that never cross your mind?
There are hard times when you say, God, why did I do this? But, if you've got the will, you just put that out of your mind and just say, keep on moving, keep on going forward.
Mm-hmm.
Figure it out. So
That makes sense.
yeah, that's what I did.
I had, I was running ultra marathons for a bit several years ago. And I think it was the first one that I ran. It was in June on a path that was concrete. And it was, I can't remember if it was 50K or 100K, but the day was bright sun, 0 clouds, 95 degrees, humid. And I'd never run an ultra before. And I remember, and this is where the story is going, is I remember having to actually consciously focus my feet onto the path because there was no shade. And what was happening is that my subconscious was pulling me off the path towards trees. Literally.
Wow.
So I had to just continuously focus just 1 foot in front of the other, 1 foot in front of the other, just keep moving. I was slow, especially at this point, but just to stop from veering off path because everything in the back of my brain was sending me off where I needed to go. And I had to put all of my effort just into 1 foot in front of the next, in front of the next, in front of the next to stay there.
Wow. That's great. That's hot. It was hot outside.
It was hot.
Yeah.
It was bad.
And you did this for how many miles?
It would have been, I don't remember if it was 31 miles or 62.
62.
It was rough.
In any case, that's a long time.
It was long. I did not achieve the time that I wanted to. And I remember finishing, and it was like 8 hours or something like that. It was a long time. And I sat down, and my wife was waiting for me when I finished at the time. And I got there, and I'm like, well, it didn't go as I had hoped, but at least I'm the only person that I know that's ever run an ultra marathon. And I'm happy with that for now. And we were invited for dinner that night. So we go for dinner, someone's birthday, like 40th birthday party or something. And go for dinner. And sure enough, I'm sitting across from somebody. I'm like, oh, I just finished this ultra marathon today. He's like, oh yeah, which one? And I said, it was Niagara. And he goes, me too. I finished that. I did that last year. I did that ultra marathon last year. Yeah, that's tough and all this stuff. I went, oh, well, shit. I met somebody now. I'm not the only person I know that's done an ultra marathon, so now I have to keep doing it and do another one just to get my time to be a little bit better.
Yeah, but the fact that you did it, that's an accomplishment. That's a long run.
It was long. It was long.
Yeah.
I cursed myself for several days after that. And then I did another one after that. I did a couple more after that.
It reminds me of my oldest boy. He got into mountain bike racing.
Okay.
And he did a lot of training and what have you. And there's an event, or was an event, called 24 Hours of Moab. Moab is a location in Utah where the Canyonlands are.
Mm-hmm.
And 24 Hours of Moab is we're going to ride our bikes for 24 hours. And they'd have different events. You could do it as a single, where you would ride 24 hours, how many laps you would do, or as a team of 2 or a team of 4, mixed groups, age groups, on and on and on. And it was an event, I'm going to say, 15, 20,000 people there.
No shit.
No shit. And so here we are, our son, okay?
How old is he at this time?
At that time, mid-20s, maybe somewhere's in there. And so he's going to do it solo. He's going to ride 24 hours on his own and what have you. So we had friends, and they set the tent up, and Patty and I are there in our van and watching him take off and going. 2 o'clock in the morning, he comes in, and he's begging, I can't do it anymore. You know, and as parents, you start to feel his pain.
Mm-hmm.
And so his buddy gives him coffee, shoves food down, and gets him run out there again. And he goes and he goes and he goes and he finishes. And he almost won. Some guy beat him by a lap or so. But nevertheless, he's in agonizing pain, okay, riding 24 hours. So we get all buckled up, and packed up, and we're going back into Moab to the town, and we're going to get some pizza. And our son is just, oh, the pain. We're sitting down for pizza. We're now about an hour or so. He turns around to us and says, I think when I do it again next year, he's ready to come back and do it again. And my wife and I are looking at each other and said, this kid is crazy. And I think he did do it again the following year.
Yeah.
But he's always done that. So that's strenuous stuff.
A lot of mental fortitude there.
Definitely.
He probably learned a lot of that from yourself and Patty, just going through with everything.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Maybe not physically quite to that extent, but
yeah.
you see, like, I see it in my kids, and I tell them, you got to beat me up one day. You got to beat me. Because they would say this as when they were really young. They're like, we're going to beat you. And I'm like, good. Beat me. That's the point. I want you to beat me.
Yeah.
But I'm going to make it really, really hard. So I'm going to do all kinds of crazy stuff. I'm going to, push myself to the absolute limit. I'm going to push as hard as I can to make it almost impossible. And then I'm going to give you as much of the tools and the support and whatever I can to make sure that you can stand on my shoulders and beat me.
Yeah.
That's what I want for you.
Yeah.
And I don't care what you do with your life. I don't care. I don't want to tell you to become a doctor. I don't want to tell you to do what I do, but I'm going to help to make sure that you're successful and have that rich quality of life. So you are fulfilled and way more successful, in quotes, than I can be, depending on how you would define success.
Yes.
For each of them.
Well said.
I'm working on it. It's a work in process.
Yeah.
Right now they're beating me at Monopoly, so they're happy. But motivationally speaking, what keeps you going? You've got the company. What are the things that are your primary focus points that you really want to accomplish next?
Oh, goodness. Oh. I guess just to watch the business grow.
Mm-hmm.
That tells you if you're successful or not.
It's a scorecard.
That's exactly right. It's the scorecard.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, if we sold the business tomorrow, just as an example, would I start another business? I don't think so.
No.
No, I'm tired.
Mm-hmm.
I am truly tired now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that I would avail myself to someone who wants to start a business and maybe help guide them. That's what I would enjoy. So
you're looking towards mentorship.
Perhaps, yeah. In a friendly way, not in a business way. Just
No, yeah.
If some young fellow came along or female and just wanted it, what is a margin? I can tell them.
Yeah.
So
and guide them through a lot of that process, a lot of those early day mistakes that so many people make.
What's going to happen? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's amazing to have you here, and you really did bring out a lot of me when I was younger, working at the golf course. And I mean this. I think of you. I would think of you every time I would come to the cottage.
No kidding. Wow.
For 20 years, and you had this sort of profound impact on my life that I know that you weren't aware of because we haven't been in touch in the same way that I should have reached out sooner. But I want to sincerely thank you for coming on the show. It's been a real pleasure getting a chance to connect again, and I wish you all the best success with Point6 and everything that you're doing going forward.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. It makes me feel good that you think I was a good mentor to you. That's nice, and I appreciate that. Thanks. And I like what you're doing.
Thank you.
Your book, I find how the rich get divorced and stay rich. Interesting.
Not for you.
Not for me.
Not for you.
No divorce here.
No divorce there, which is good. Part of the book is about how to keep your marriage successful and fulfilling and happy and prosperous.
Yeah, it's just respecting the other person.
And the best way to stay rich is just by not getting divorced in the first place.
Not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea, right?
Yeah.
Now, if people are looking to find you, where do they go?
Where would they find me?
And Point6.
Well, it would be through Point6 as an email. It could be info@point6.com.
And people can go to point6.com, like it's POINT and the number 6.com.
That's correct, yes.
And buy all kinds of cool or warm, great socks, apparel, underwear. What's there?
Yeah. We base layers, tops and bottoms, T-shirts, men's and women's, men's boxers, neck gaiters, hats, socks, of course. We're expanding into another product line for summer wear, wool, that is. And so it'll be a wool tencel mix.
Cool.
And exactly right, cool. So, yeah, that's how they can find me, and you can be assured you're gonna pay no more than wholesale and maybe less at times when we discount. So
fantastic. And is there an Instagram or any other social media attached to that?
there is.
Okay.
I'm sure. Okay.
So I'll find it and I'll put it in the comments and make sure that we include it there.
Because I have no idea where to get it.
You sound like me. I'm like, I don't know. There's social media somewhere.
It's somewhere out there.
So I'll make sure that those are all included too. Please, people who are watching the show, reach out to Point6. Get onto point6.com. Buy lots of high quality products at wholesale, maybe less if you're lucky, prices. Peter Duke, the Godfather of Wool, thank you so much for coming today. It's been a real pleasure getting a chance to talk to you again.
Likewise, Ryan. Thank you.
Thank you. And for anybody watching, I can't wait to see you next time where we have more successful entrepreneurs like Mr. Duke, or we have divorce attorneys and people specialized in divorce coming on to give you the best quality insights, wisdom, and knowledge that you could possibly have to make sure that if you're getting divorced, you can stay rich. And if you're in entrepreneurism, you become rich. See you then.